This'll turn you against me. I like professional wrestling. Yeah. That'll get you murdered at a Hollywood party. If I'm at a Hollywood party and I'm like, oh, I like professional wrestling, I'll say it, and then I can just feel a fedora just coming my way to yell at me, say the same shit you guys always say to us, which is, it's fake, it's not real. Talk with somebody for 2 hours about politics, the economy, then I'll mention like professional wrestling. They'll be like, Danny, adult human Danny, are you aware professional wrestling is fake? Yeah, I know that man is not actually an undertaker. Thank you. Do you know what? I was watching TV recently and I noticed something. Do you guys know what else is fake on TV? Everything else. So shut the fuck up. What is your point? Professional wrestling's fake. I'm home watch The Bachelor. It's beautiful. No, it's not. There's a producer off camera feeding those people drugs. We're all watching lies. The only reason, I've thought about this a lot, the only reason you guys say that shit to us is because our guys are so good at their jobs, you aren't sure. Best actors on TV, hands down, it's not close. My girlfriend and I, we watch Ballers together. Shut up. And sorry, I like a normal show. And it's a great show. And it stars The Rock. And we were watching together. And my girlfriend was like, wow, The Rock is a really good actor. Who would have thought? And I was like, me? Literally anyone that's ever watched professional wrestling before? Are you fucking kidding me? You think acting is hard for The Rock? Do you guys know what The Rock used to do? The Rock, on a nightly basis, would strip down to his underwear. He was bathed in oil, glistening. Yeah, you want to picture this. And those of you that know him now, you know him as a very big rock. He was much smaller back in the day. Much smaller, much tighter rock. Tight rock. Dare I say a diamond. He was beautiful. He would walk out to a ring, there'd be another guy there. Who's that guy? It doesn't matter who that guy is. That guy would punch him in the face, I think, for real. I don't know what happened. They would run around. It's like a marathon. I don't know how they do it. At one point, this lady would come out. She used to date the other guy. Now she dates The Rock. Don't worry about it. We're on season 50 of professional wrestling. Anyway, at some point, The Rock, he goes through a table, then he pins this other dude. He's exhausted. Just ran a marathon, through a real table. That hurts. At that point, after all that, The Rock would pick up a microphone and do a 30-minute improvised monologue. Go fuck yourself, Meryl Streep. With your pre-written lines you studied the night before. He'd off-the-cuff it on live TV. And then my girlfriend's like, wow, The Rock's a good actor. Who would have thought The Rock is... You keep calling him The Rock. His name is Dwayne. That's his character's name. Who is that iconic in their first role that you call them that for the rest of their life? Except The Rock and Mr. Bean. That's acting. We do not give that man enough credit. God, I love him. I love sports. Who here knows who Dikembe Mutombo is? Sure. Does anybody here know, this is where it gets harder, does anybody here know the Who Wants to Sex Mutombo story? Nobody ever does. I'll teach you all. Take this home with you. You're welcome. First off, Dikembe Mutombo, former basketball player from Africa, known for his defense. What makes him special, rumor is, back in the day, Dikembe Mutombo would walk into crowded bars. Bar would go silent. A 7-foot monster has walked in the room. And he would loudly go, "Who wants to sex Mutombo?" And then, inevitably, some young lady would be like, "Me? Yeah, I want to do that." And they would go off and they would sex Mutombo. As a kid, I heard this and I was like, well, that's the dream. I mean, that's everything I want to grow up to be. I was just a Jew in Virginia at the time. I was very excited by all that. But with that said, because I feel the energy, I feel it. Look, we live in this period right now, and I think it's a very good period where we're looking back at a lot of our heroes. And we're being like, is that a good person? Is that the sort of person we should be looking up to? And looking back on it, It's like, way to get consent, Dikembe. Asking the question in a crowded bar, putting no pressure on the female, with witnesses that's light years ahead of his time. Unbelievable. Allegations not in his house. No, sir. It's a good man. I'll tell you guys one last story that I just wanted to talk about because it happened to me a couple weeks ago. I got roasted for the first time a couple weeks ago. Has anyone here been roasted before? Like the real version. Like white people, do you know what I'm talking about? What happens is, you've never been roasted before, what happens is you have a group of black friends. And they're all like, we should go get dinner. And you're like, okay. And then they make fun of you for about 2 hours. And it's the most fun night of their life if it's about you. If it's about me. I mean, they had, this guy. And there's no warning. He was just like, hey, you look like a dad. You look like a dad, man. You look like a deadbeat dad. He called me human New Balance. That's the thing he said. I was wearing sneakers. He goes, what are those shoes, Nikes? And I was like, yeah. He's like, what are those, the Tim Allens? I was like, what's happening? How do I stop this? Because here's the thing. You've never been roasted before, so you guys can back this up. But if you've never been roasted before, so there's the roaster, so that was him. So he's like, you ugly. And there's the roastie, so that was me. So I was like, help. And then there's a group that forms around you. And what they're going to do is they're going to sound like they're going to repeat his joke, but they're going to make a new joke. That's where they trick you. So he'd be like, man, you look like Ray Romano. And then everybody behind him would go, oh, shit, he does look like Javier Bardem. It's like, that's not what he said, though. It's a different person.